This is the Oklahoma Talking Company.
Welcome to Activate Your Strengths with Rhonda Boyle. StrengthsFinder 2.0 is an analytical assessment created by Gallup Corporation, and many people today are using it to change their lives, improve their relationships, and enhance their work experience. This is the podcast where we explore using your natural talents and gifts in your personal and professional development. And now, here's your host, Rhonda Boyle.
Hey, everybody. This is Rhonda Boyle, and welcome to the Activate Your Strength Show. Jason Baffrey, I am super pumped over here. Woo-hoo. I know. I am excited because of who we have in the studio. For the first time ever, yes, we have a couple, a husband and wife, and we get to hear all about how they work together.
Yeah, this will be fun.
I know. I'm really excited about it. So anyway, I am thrilled to have in the studio today a couple who they've been here in Oklahoma forever. They live in Northwest Oklahoma City. They have 3 kids. Carson is 8, Kensington is 6, and Lincoln is 3. And they are the owners of the Oklahoma Real Estate Photography Company. I would like to welcome my guests today, Ryan and Erin Wells. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. We're excited.
Thank you, Rhonda, for having us.
Yeah. So on the show, what we love to do is find out about your top 5. And today, because of you being a couple, we get to hear about how they work together, how you guys have used this together to create a power team, really, for your business. So, Ryan, let's start with you. Tell us what your top 5 are.
Yeah. My top 5 are woo, communication, futuristic, adaptability, and connectedness.
I see that woo all over you, sir. Now, just to show the contrast, because this is what happens. Couples end up marrying their absolute contrast. I think naturally we're just trying to fill the gaps. It's just how we are. So, Erin, tell us what your top 5 are.
Mine are responsibility, empathy, consistency, belief, and discipline.
Oh my gosh. You guys are, there's truth in the story, right? That opposites attract. Yeah?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
You couldn't be more different.
So, tell me about it.
I know. So, Erin, let's start with you real quick. Tell me, when you first took this test, now I know that Ryan wooed you into taking it and you probably didn't want to. You thought, what is he up to now? Tell us what your aha moment was when you got that, your answers, your results. What did you think?
It helped me put like a name to like all these years of just the way I was. And I mean, I like to stay to rules and, have responsibility. And I just thought I was always like just a goody good girl or whatever that I got made fun of. But so it just gave it a name of like, oh, I can actually be this person. It's okay.
It is. It's who you are, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So Ryan, how about you? Like, what did you think?
Yeah, I gotta go back to, Rhonda, when I first met you even, I'd heard about you and a friend of ours, Andrea Cho, she had said, you got to meet Rhonda. And so we met at a Panera Bread on the south side of Oklahoma City.
I remember.
And I got to be honest, Rhonda, you freaked me out when I first met you.
I freak a lot of people out. That's just true.
I wasn't really sure because all you talked about and were really, it seemed obsessed about was this thing called StrengthsFinder. And so
it's true.
I pushed against the idea of even taking the assessment for what seemed like it was like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Finally, I gave in.
I just kept hounding you.
You did. Yeah. Facebook message after Facebook message, text and emails, and kind of like what Erin said, when I took the assessment and I got my top 5, it was really cool because I had a name to really just describe who I was.
Yeah.
And I definitely identified with all of those. And the big aha moment for me was, going through that first workshop with you and realizing that I didn't need to spend time working on improving my weaknesses, but I instead should just pour it all on in my strengths, bet the farm on my strengths. And, we've seen some awesome results after doing that.
You have, and I can't wait to talk about them. So you guys own a business together, and really it didn't start out that way. You were really frankly, struggling with your
Yeah.
business.
Oh, yeah.
And Erin, if I recall, you were a pharmacy tech when you guys first took the test and first got involved. How long? This has been close to 2 years now.
Yeah, almost 2.5 years. It was 2 years on April 30th this year. Yeah.
Okay, so, but what was happening is tell us the story of what was going on in your business at the time you took the test.
Yeah, starting a new business was something new for me. And like you mentioned, the struggle, definitely. I mean, we were in kind of a bad place really back then. To put it this way, our house was going to go back to First Federal, our car was going to go back to First Union, our truck was going to go back to First Community Bank, and that meant Erin and I were going to go back to First Base.
Wow.
And being 10 years married, having to start over like that was a rough place to be in.
Sure.
And so we were looking for answers, and I really found that in StrengthsFinder, and realized that part of the struggle was because I had lost control of the business. We were starting to get a little bit busy, but I was completely unorganized. In fact, to the point where my schedule becomes so overwhelming to manage that I missed an appointment. I would double book. And so I had a client of ours, real estate agent, call and say, "Where are you? You were supposed to be here at X time or whatever," and I did not have it on my calendar. And so from that, I said, "Okay, come on, Erin, we don't have the money right now for us to both, stay at home and work or whatever, work from home. But we're going to have to take this risk." And so I called her and said, "Go fire your boss." Fire that boss and leave the job. And it was kind of scary, but she did it, and within 2 weeks' time, I mean, it was a turnaround.
Well, she had you really kind of organized, right?
Absolutely.
So, Erin, what did you do? How'd you do that? I mean, come on. I know, given Ryan's talents, that he had to have been a mess.
Oh, yes. I remember he called me I was at work, and he called me. He's like, something's got to be done. I missed an appointment. You're going to have to, come home, and we just, need to work on this together. So basically, we found an online scheduling system that we could use. And so we started using that. And so instead of all the clients calling him, and just using a Google Calendar to schedule appointments, we started using online. People would go online and book, it would sync. And then we made one phone, our work phone, and I always have that. So they go through me, and within 2 weeks, he was set. And I don't think we've ever missed an appointment.
So she basically tells you what to do, Ryan. Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't want to know the details. I don't need to know.
Yeah.
Just tell me when and where to show up and let me do my thing. And don't ask me to put anything together, because I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And it's been really cool because just to see her operate in who, her strengths, which is, who she is, and really just shine in that.
Well, I don't know if you know this, Erin, but discipline, your talent theme of discipline, is one of the 4 rare talents. There's 4 that less than 5% of people tested have, and discipline is one of them. Wow. So you naturally bring order. Wherever you go, you're creating order. So are her closets all neat, Nick, and everything in the house, Ryan?
It's interesting, to look at that. We haven't seen it necessarily play out in that as much as we have on the time blocks,
time management,
and that kind of a thing. Yeah, that's been it's been really cool to watch that come together.
And people with discipline love timelines and deadlines and systems that are going to create order. It's just what you do. It's a natural thing that, Ryan, where is discipline? I know you have all 34 years. It's number 33, I think, if I remember.
I believe it's 33.
Yeah, it's 33 for me, too. I'm going to make a confession. I don't have any discipline either, so I feel your pain in there. So let's talk about 2 of your talents that, just from my view as a coach and consultant, would have some trouble. And that would be your discipline and Ryan's adaptability, because he just kind of goes with the flow, blows with the wind. It's all okay, no worries about changes. But what happens, to you?
He's always wanting, let's do this, just start something new. And I'm like, no, I think we need to, think about it, or I just need to give me some time. Just like in our past of like, when we had changed churches and he was all gung-ho to do it that next day. I'm like, no, no, we're just going to stay here for a little bit longer. Give me a few days, few weeks to think about it. I can't.
Months.
Yeah, a few months. I can't just to the spur of the moment, change my mind. I have to think about it and play it all out. Or is it going to benefit us? Is it going to?
Yeah, you like to analyze and take a look at the whole landscape where Ryan's jumping off the cliff going, come on, we'll build those wings as we go down. So Ryan, you used to think that she was contrary and just being a pain, I guess, probably.
Right. I mean, I really did. I did not understand at all. To me, it was new things were exciting opportunities. I could definitely see how they were going to work out. There's no way they're not going to. And she was super hesitant. And, for a little bit there, I thought, well, what's wrong with me? Did I tick her off or, but I thought she was just being contrary for whatever reason. But what I realized is that that's just not who she is, and that nothing is wrong with her.
Right, exactly.
Like nothing's wrong with her. That's not why she's saying, well, no, let's hold on. But it's because that's how she processes things.
Right.
I mean, that's how she operates. And not only should I let her do that, but I should encourage that kind of behavior because that's who she is. And that's where, she really can be herself.
Well, and as a couple, you have obviously been able to leverage her talent blended with your talent in order to create something really powerful, in your business.
Yes.
So that's wonderful. Now, one thing that you mentioned to me when we were talking beforehand is that you don't have responsibility high.
Right.
But what have you learned about that?
So responsibility is very, very low for me.
Yeah, I hear you.
Which, it really means
it's low for me too.
I can't necessarily understand where Erin's coming from, but I do accept that. I accept where she's coming from on the responsibility piece. And with that also I've learned, pretty much don't get yourself, Ryan, into a situation where, responsibility is required. And that's, it saved my rear several times. But
you also know, too, that just because you don't have responsibility high doesn't mean that you're irresponsible.
Right. And that was a big revelation to me because I used to kind of beat myself up thinking that I was an irresponsible person because when I'm asked, to do something like be on time or to get things done on a deadline or whatever, I will almost on purpose sabotage that.
Well, it feels like you're doing it.
It feels
it's your
like that.
What it is it's your adaptability. You're adapting in the moment to something else, and that gets put on the back burner because in your mind, it's no big deal.
It's no big deal.
But to somebody with responsibility, Erin,
it drives me crazy.
Big deal.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Like you said, you were going to do that.
Right.
So this is where conflict can come in unless you get that about one another and you don't judge one another.
Yeah, that's huge.
Because we're always looking out of our own eyeballs. We can't help it.
Yep.
So really, you are in one another's blind spot. So you can't feel or really understand one another, but you can accept one another where you are, provided you really understand the application of these talent themes. It's really important not just to take the test, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I would say, if all you do is just take the test, that's all it's going to be is another test that you've taken.
Just another test.
And I mean, how many of us have had to do that, with starting maybe new jobs or, in college, a career class or whatever. We've all taken these assessments, and I've taken some, other ones. I've taken one even since StrengthsFinder, but I'll say, it was really the fleshing it out and diving into looking at the strengths under a microscope through the workshop that you've done with Lee, and I know for Erin, maybe I might be speaking for her, but for her it was cool for her to see that there are other people that are like her.
Yeah, you get to kind of find your tribe.
Yes.
And even though they're your tribe, they're still different. There's still something different, a little bit different about them. Like, Ryan, you and I are naturally gifted in the promoting. Right. We're promoters. That's just what we do. We can't not promote. And yet we promote differently than someone with command and self-assurance.
Yep.
We don't even promote like they do, and yet we both move people. So it's critical to understanding really, how people operate by having these words and then understanding what drives people, because you get to learn what their needs are. You get to learn what triggers them. And we say they go into the outhouse because they stink, know. So, Erin, I want to talk real quick about your empathy, because you physically feel. Your empathy is very high. It's number 2.
Yes.
So you physically feel what other people are feeling. You can kind of sense what Ryan's going through some days.
Yeah, like he can come home and I can tell like either he's had a bad day or a good day, or no, okay, I'm going to let him have his space for a little bit. Just the feeling, like when he comes in, and or even like, you're in the store and you see people like little kids, like when I see them, I don't know, cry and stuff, and it's like I just tell like if they're hurting or they want something, and I'm like, oh, I want to give him everything.
Oh, yeah, it really, you do have that emotional, you wear your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah.
That's what people with empathy. Now, how do you protect yourself? Because, man, I tell you, sometimes you can walk into a room and you're feeling it from different people coming in different directions. And what do you do?
I just try to not let it overtake me, I guess you'd say, and just kind of, if I feel like it's so heavy, just you leave the room or just try to focus on something else.
So do you now know what it is? Now that you have this word empathy, you know that it's not you.
Right.
That it's something else. Because I think that's one of the issues that empathy people have, is they come home at the end of the day and they're just drained because the rest of us, frankly, have sucked the life out of them. We don't know we're doing that to you. But if you don't have a way to get rid of that energy that has been dumped on you by other people, then you can't tell really the difference between your feelings and somebody else's feelings.
Yeah.
So, it gets kind of crazy. So, Ryan, I know you probably know this. Don't ever lie to her.
Yeah, right.
She will know it in a red hot minute, won't you, Erin?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. No fudging, no fibbing, no nothing. She's going to know immediately, because people with empathy, they can sense that I don't know what it is because I don't have empathy high enough, but there's sort of an energy change that happens and you pick up on it immediately. You know that something's going on.
Yes.
I mean, that's even the same word as empath. Right? I mean, so someone that kind of knows what's going on there.
Sure. Yeah, you know what's going on because of your senses. So that's really a very powerful talent that really empowers you to meet the needs of other people. So what a beautiful gift. So, all right, I'm going to put you guys on the spot here. Erin, let's start with you.
Okay.
So tell us, which of Ryan's talents drive you crazy? Come on.
It would be his woo.
His woo?
Yes, because he always has to be the center of attention anywhere we go. And I don't like to be the center of attention. I would rather just sit back and watch everybody.
Sure.
And so, I'm like, why do you have to always talk? Well, and like his communication, why do you always have to talk to everybody and just be the loudmouth of everybody?
Now, woo stands for winning others over. And I like to remind everyone that Ryan, woo is the only talent that's an acronym. See, we're so special, we with woo. But you know what? He's compelled to go right into the center, aren't you, Ryan?
I am, yeah. I'm drawn to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's because you're looking, what are you looking for? What do you think it is?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, it's interesting to think about, like, what am I looking for? I do like to be the center of attention, but also I want to know, what drives people. Okay, here's really what I'm looking for. Energy.
Yes.
Energy. It gives me energy.
And you have energy.
Like
look how big his energy is.
Right. Look at me through this podcast. No.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. Yeah, but you can just tell when you walk in the room, there's presence about you, and it's an energy, right?
Right.
Yeah, and so what you're really looking for is you're looking for energy because you kind of take it from other people, don't you?
I do. I feed off of it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I just go in to put me in a room with new people, right?
You like new people.
Have you ever? I don't know if you've ever been to like a catfish farm, but they'll throw a handful of like dog food or fish food,
and there's a feeding frenzy,
and just little feeding frenzy. All these catfish. Well, that's me and a group of people.
Yeah, I'm so totally with you. So now let's tell our audience about this because I remember this, is that when you went through the workshop to learn more about your talents, I told you something about your woo, and that has really been instrumental in empowering your business. Yes. And it was what stood out of the whole workshop was that one phrase, one sentence really that you told me. You said, Ryan, you have woo. You need to meet new people every single day. And it's a need. And that's what, Erin, this has got to be helpful for you to understand that it's not just what Ryan does.
Right.
It's not just who he is. It's what he needs. There's a deep and profound need underneath each one of these talents. And so your woo needs people. And if you don't get people, what happens?
Oh, I mean, I've been known, like if I'm deprived of people, I'll seclude myself. I mean, there have been times where, and it's been 2 or 3 years now, but I would sleep for 2-3 days at a time, go into a depression. And it's so cool now understanding why.
Yes.
Yes. And because it takes some effort to be around people.
It does. But it's easier for us.
Because it's easy to get into like that rut where you're just around the same people all the time. And some people like that, that's totally cool for them. But yeah, it is easy for us, but you still have to put forth the effort to actually put yourself in a situation. So things like networking events are really big for me because I do thrive on that.
Right.
Being around all the new folks.
Well, and then you like Erin with you. She doesn't particularly care for networking events, do you, Erin?
No, I don't.
But you do go with him.
Yes, because I have to rein him in sometimes.
That's right. Exactly.
He starts promising the world. I'm like, no, you got to pull that back there.
Not quite sure we can handle that one, right? So, okay. Let's talk, Erin. I want you to tell me now. No, you've already told me woo. So, Ryan, it's your turn. So which one of Erin's talents makes you a little nuts?
Belief.
Yeah.
Yeah, belief. Because she, and here we go, I understand, or I accept her, but like I don't understand why everything has to be black and white. Because all I see is gray. That's all I see. Rules don't mean anything to me. They don't apply. I have, Erin has deep-seated core values. Mine I don't have roots in that kind of a thing, like you can pretty much like convince me of anything. I'm open, very open-minded. And I used to look at Erin as a closed-minded person. And I would look at that as a weakness. But in reality, now I understand, no, it's actually her strength. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful for the fact that that she has those core beliefs. But yeah, I would say that would be the one that really gets on my nerves.
It comes up periodically,
It
right?
does, yeah.
Well, and that's because people with belief have those inner core values. I like to say, it's not like a line drawn in the sand. It's one of those cement parking bumps that if you try to go over it, it's going to rip up the underside of your carriage, right?
Yeah.
Because there is no wiggle room at all for you on certain things, Erin.
Right.
I remember you telling me the story about when you were a pharmacy tech and you were filling a prescription.
Yes.
And you needed 30 pills.
Right, and there was only 29.
And why couldn't you let that go out the door?
Because it was dishonest. I was like, I know there's only 29 in here. And someone was like, oh, just brush it off. Just put the 29. I'm like, no, it calls for 30. It requires 30.
Absolutely.
And I was like, I can't do that. That's just dishonest.
No way you could do that. Exactly. So I know that you guys, real quick as we finish up here, you guys get all of your employees tested now with StrengthsFinder, and you really encourage personal development.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, kind of, if you were in a team meeting with us, we talk very, very little about photography. What we mainly talk about is that it's important for you to work harder on yourself than you do on your skill. And so I think that translates to anything. It doesn't matter really what you do. the more you work on yourself and you develop yourself, it's going to play itself out in everything else, because the semantics, the mechanics of photography, those will take care of themselves. I can take in an afternoon and teach you from nothing how to do exactly what we do. But what I can't teach you is how to be yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to discover that.
Yeah. Well, that's the difference between informative learning and transformative learning. You have to have an experience.
Yeah.
And StrengthsFinder, if you actually learn how to apply it, can give you that, you start looking for the signs of yourself and how you operate. And
Absolutely.
if you can examine, when things go wrong, usually it's hard in the moment, because you're so triggered by something that, but if you can go backwards and examine, you can actually find which talent was not getting a need met.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. So,
yeah.
like your futuristic, here's one other thing that I know about you guys. Erin's futuristic is kind of low.
Right.
But yours is in your top 5, so it's
Yeah.
number 3. So you cast a vision for her.
Yeah.
Now, you can't always see it,
Right.
but once he paints the picture, then what?
Then I can follow it because he's, it's given me the step-by-step of how we're going to get there or what it's going to look like. And I'm like, okay, I can do that.
And then you go in and put a system in place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's what's been really cool for me, because I can see it, but I don't know how to get there. And like, I don't care how to get there either. Like,
You just know you're going, and
but I
let's
just
go.
know, yeah, like, come on. Right. Activator's, number 8 for me. And so I'm ready to get started because I see it. But it's so cool because Erin does put the system together that becomes the bridge
Yes.
to get us, our family, from where we are to the fulfillment of that vision. And it's happened time and time again.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting though. But this is why he's so important to you.
Yes.
With his futuristic, because he does paint that picture and cast that vision, which otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see it at all.
No.
Yeah. So now, does he come up with some wild and crazy ideas some days?
Oh, yes. All the time. And I'm like, I'm not for sure about that. But if you show me how to get there, then okay, we can go there.
Show me what it looks like.
Yeah,
Paint the picture.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you're okay with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure. Well, you guys are an awesome power couple, a power team, and you have done amazing things. Do you even know what the growth has been of your business since you started doing this?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
a percentage wise?
Yeah, I mean, it's been thousands of percents. We went from averaging 6 photo shoots a month in December of 2013 to last month we did like 264, in a month. And so
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you have employees and
a whole team of
an
people
office now
Yeah.
and all of this that has been fleshed out just since you learned it. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it is amazing.
It's
I know.
unbelievable.
You've done a great job. Well,
Thank
why
you.
don't you tell us to wrap up? Tell us how we can find you.
Yeah. So if you want to, connect with us on social media, Ryan Wells, Erin Wells on Facebook is probably a really great way. You can check out our website, okrealestatephotography.com. And we actually have a YouTube channel as well, Show the Flow TV, where we have some vlogs and things right there. But we'd love to connect with you.
And I love your Show the Flow TV
Oh,
show.
thank you.
That is, and I've been a guest on
Yes.
episode number 15.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So love that, talking about StrengthsFinder again.
Oh,
So
yeah.
if anybody wants to hear about that. Thank you so much for joining us. You can find us at www.activateyourstrengths.com. And you can also find us on Facebook at Activate Your Strengths. We can be found on Twitter at Activate Strong and on Periscope at Activate Me. We'd love to connect to you and have you join us in some of our workshops here in Oklahoma City. And we do have workshops and we'll travel. So for now, go and live in your strengths. Thanks for joining us.
Activate Your Strengths with Rhonda Boyle is a presentation of Oklahoma Talking Company. Learn more and listen to other great programs at oklahomatalking.co. This has been a production of Destiny Creative.